Hey guys, this is Petrina and this is part 3 of my clock app tutorial series. In this video we are going to add an alarm clock to our simple clock app. By the way, if you haven't watched part 1 and 2, I would recommend you go and watch them first because this is like a build up from part 1 and 2. That's why there's already code here. So yeah, I'll put the links in the description below. I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a professional programmer. I am just someone who's trying to teach herself how to code. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to remove this font here. And also this text, because we've already created the text in the Python file in part 2. So yeah. Also for this text here, we're going to remove it. Yep. And we are going to set all our labels to center aligned. I want all my labels to be center aligned. So to do this, you write H align. Yep, you write H aligned and you write center. Now it's going to center all of our labels. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a tabbed panel item, a new one. And we're going to call it alarm. And we're going to put a box layout in this one. And we're going to set the orientation to vertical. We're going to add padding of 20 and spacing of 20. Okay, by the way, in part 2, I said that if you don't put the size hint, it won't take the padding and the spacing and the height into account. I was completely wrong about that. Actually, the size hint will be needed for the height. So if the size hint isn't included, then the height won't be taken into account. Padding and spacing, the size hint doesn't affect the padding and spacing. So yeah, just to clear that up. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a label into our box layout, and we're going to write this text here. That's enter time. Enter the time in this format. This format. So like this. Hour, minutes, and AM or PM. Create a new line, and we're gonna see, for example, 09:49 PM. I'm just gonna make it bold to stand out. So yeah. So we're gonna say font equal to Gothic, bold, and yep. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set the font size of this one to 230. Also, we have to create an ID for this. So we're gonna say ID state. I'm just gonna say state. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a text input. This is where the text will go in, the time will go in. And we're gonna create an ID for this because we're gonna access it in the Python file, both the label and the text input. We're gonna access them in the Python file. So yeah, that's why we're creating IDs for both of them. So yeah, for this one, we're gonna say check time, and oh, maybe I should just say time input. Yeah, time input. So time input, and then we're gonna set the multi-line to false. So when you set the multi-line to false, you can't go to another line. It will always be in one line. So yeah, I'm just going to, yeah. So we're just going to run it and see. Now I'm just going to run this one. So pi practice clock. Okay, this is from part 1, this is from part 2, and now we're doing part 3. Wow. So yeah, this is too big, the writing is too big. So I just have to make it nice and small. Actually, why did I say 30? I'm supposed to say 17. And I'm supposed to set the font size for this to 30. So now this one's gonna look good. So yeah, if I remove the padding and the spacing, you're gonna see that it's gonna stretch all the way to the sides of the app. It doesn't look good that way. It looks, yeah, it just doesn't look good in my eyes. That's why I wanted to look, yeah, I wanted to have a nice border around it. So yeah. Okay. Now we're going to create another box layout. And I want this box layout to have the same properties as this one here, the box layout of the stopwatch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an inherited class row, like this rounded button class row here. And I'm going to call it, I have this really weird accent. Anyway, I'm going to call it button box layout. Button box layout at box layout. So yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut everything here. I'm going to cut everything here and I'm going to paste it in this class row here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference it down here. Same goes for here. So I'm going to say button box layout. Okay. And I want my button to look like the button in the stopwatch, the red one. So I'm just going to reference it here. So I'm going to say rounded button. I'm going to set the text to set alarm. And that's it. So now let's just run it again and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, so there you go. Looks fine. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to add functionality to it. And we're going to go into our Python file now. So in our Python file, we're going to say from kivy.core.audio import sound loader. So this is going to load the sound of the alarm. From play sound import play sound, and this is going to play the sound of the alarm. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a variable called alarm time, and it's going to be an empty string. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to create an if statement in this function here. So we're going to say that if self dot alarm time is equal to SDR time. That stands for the hour, for the minutes, and for the PM and AM. Then we're going to say if SDR time second is equal to 00 and SDR time second is less than 09, then we're going to say self dot root dot IDS dot state dot text is equal to wake up. That's the, we're referencing the label in the alarm tab. So we're gonna set the size of this font to 60. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna load the sound. So we're gonna say self dot sound is equal to sound loader dot load, and it's gonna be a WAV file. So I'm just gonna go here and I'm just gonna type w dot WAV, and I want this alarm clock alarm file. So I'm just gonna go to properties, and I'm going to copy this one here. And I'm gonna paste it here. I'm also gonna copy the name. I'm gonna paste it here, and I'm gonna say .wav. That's it. Now I'm going to play the sound. So self.sound.play. That's when the alarm goes off, it will play the sound. For this line here, if you're confused, once you put the time that you want in, and once it reaches the current time, and if the second of the time is equal to 0, and then it will ring. It will ring until the second of the time goes to 9 or 10, and then it will stop. So the alarm will stop after 9 or 10 seconds. But I'll just put it at 3 seconds because it's really annoying. The sound is really annoying. So yeah. Okay, now we're going to create a function for the button. So I'm just going to put it here, right here. So I'm going to say def set alarm, and it's going to take 2 arguments. Oh, actually 1. So self and alarm time. So we're just going to put a function for the button. So on press, when the button is pressed, it will run this function. So set alarm, and we're going to reference this one here. So we're going to say time input .txt text, and now we're going to join it to the alarm time. So ID, so yeah, alarm time gets time input. Yep. Okay, so here def set alarm self alarm time. So if we're going to create an if statement now, if alarm time self dot, let's just say alarm time, if alarm time is dot length, if the length of the alarm time so is not equal to 8, then it's going to print this. So we're going to say self.root.ids.text state.ids is equal to invalid time format. Try add a, I'm just going to put new line here. Try add a 0 before the hour if it is less than 10, or add am and or add am or PM. Yep. So there you go. And if it's equal to 8, then we have to check something else. We have to check the hour and the minute. So else, if we're going to create a new statement in this else statement. Yeah. Okay, so if int alarm time and 0, we're checking the hour now, 0 to 2 is greater than 12, we're going to say self dot root dot ids dot state dot text equal to invalid hour format. Please try again. Elif int alarm time. Now we're checking the hour. So it's 3 to 5. We're checking the minutes now. Sorry, this is the hour and this is the minutes. So if it's more than 59 minutes, then we're going to say here, just gonna copy this, just gonna paste it here and say invalid minute format. Please try again. Else, we're just gonna set the self.alarm time gets alarm time. So the empty string up there, now it gets the alarm time. This alarm time here, and then it's going to be compared here. You see, they all connect. And then you see self dot root dot ids dot state dot text is equal to setting the alarm. Okay, now let's try and run it and see how it goes. Okay, let's check. Now let's see, it's 8:45. Huh? Okay, we're gonna say 8:08:46 p.m. Oh, it's already it's already 8:46, so we'll just set it to 47 p.m. Ooh, set alarm is not defined. Oh yeah, that's right. You have to say app that sets alarm for it to run. So app dot set alarm. Now let's try again. 8:46 on. So you're gonna say 08:47 p.m. and it's setting the alarm now. So we're just gonna wait till it rings. It's good. This it's gonna be a really annoying sound, but yeah. It's gonna ring after 4 seconds. Okay, now it stopped. It's still 11 seconds and it stopped. Okay. So yeah, wait. I'm just gonna see why did it stop at 11 seconds? I think that's the length of the wave. Yeah, it's the length of it, so yeah. I don't think this affects it. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove this. Yeah, so there you go. This is the alarm that we've added onto our clock app. So now if you see, there's the clock, there's the stopwatch, start, stop, reset, and then there's the alarm. So if you add, like, if you say 8:40, like 48 p.m., it's gonna throw an error. So you see, invalid time format, try add a 0 before. Yep, so it's gonna say that. So yeah. Yep. So it's gonna say something like that. So it's very simple. Yeah. Okay. This is all for now, and I'll see you in the next video.